Much to learn, you still have.
Yes, Master.
Hey guys, welcome back. As you can probably guess, today's vlog is going to be about lightsabers. Specifically about lightsaber duels in the Star Wars movies. So what I'm going to be doing is counting down the top 5 best lightsaber duels in the movies. Now, I'm not going to count the Clone Wars film that came out in 2008 because in reality it was just a 2-hour pilot for the TV show. I may make a separate segment for the best Star Wars duels from the animated series, although I haven't seen every single episode, so that would be really hard to do. So, in order to count down the top 5 lightsaber duels, I'm going to be rating them by story, difficulty on how hard the duel would be to learn, and level of suspense, meaning no matter how many times I see it, does it still make me sit on the edge of my seat going, okay, with that said, let's get this started with number 5, Anakin vs. Dooku in Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. This makes the list because it was a very interesting duel to watch, especially when all the lights went out and Anakin and Dooku were standing in a pose like this. I don't know, to me it just seemed beautiful to watch. And it is a turning point in the story, at least it's Anakin's first step toward being more machine than man. And it does establish that Anakin's arrogance gets him into trouble, and he still has a lot to learn before he can go on to become the great Jedi that he wants to be. Number 4 is Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul from Episode 1. This made the list because not only is it amazing to watch, it also looks pretty difficult to learn the whole thing all the way through, which is probably why Nick Gillard, the stunt coordinator for the prequels, broke it up into sections. Now, it doesn't affect the story as much as the other lightsaber duels, but I had to put it on the list just because it looks so cool. Moving on to number 3 is Luke versus Darth Vader in Episode 6, Return to the Jedi. This makes the list because it is a turning point in the Star Wars story, not only for Luke's character and leading up to him rejecting the dark side, but leading up to Darth Vader also throwing off the dark side by tossing Palpatine down the shaft. It also doesn't look like a very easy duel to learn, even though the last half of it, Luke was sort of more chopping away. But the first part of the duel, it looks pretty good. As far as suspense goes, since it's such a big turning point in the story, I'm still left going, every time I watch the duel, I'm still left with my mouth hanging open. Number 2 is Luke versus Darth Vader in Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Now, this, I think, is the best duel of the original trilogy because not only does it look incredible, it looks very difficult to learn. It's got some great choreography in there, but also it leads up to the biggest bombshell in Star Wars history, with Darth Vader reaching out to Luke after Luke has lost his hand at the end of the duel, going, "Join me, we can rule the galaxy." I'm not going to give you a spoiler alert for this because if you're watching this vlog, chances are you've seen The Empire Strikes Back at least 5 times, probably more. So it's Darth Vader going, "I am your father," and That's why the Luke versus Darth Vader duel from Episode 5 is the number 2 lightsaber duel on this list. And now, without further ado, here's the number 1 best Star Wars duel in the entire saga, at least in my opinion, and that is the Obi-Wan versus Anakin duel in Episode 3. Not only is it at a blinding pace, and it looks super difficult, and it's so intense. It's almost like they're mirroring each other. It makes sense since they've been training together for so many years, but it's the most incredible lightsaber choreography I've ever seen in my life. Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor did an incredible job with the fight, but it also is one of the biggest turning points in the entire saga, which is showing that Anakin is completely gone over to the dark side. He's no longer Anakin, he is Darth Vader. By the end of the duel, Anakin is burnt to a crisp. Obi-Wan is distraught. He picks up the lightsaber that he later passes on to Luke, and Anakin is put into the infamous Darth Vader suit with the breathing. So there you go. There's the Clumsy Jedi's picks for the top 5 best lightsaber duels in Star Wars. I apologize for stumbling over my words, but I had a mild version of my parents' cold, very mild. The only thing left is a tickle in my throat, maybe a slight headache, and my brain's been thrown in a blender again, and I'm not sure what I'm doing, so I'm sorry. But do you agree with this list? Do you disagree? The question of the day is, what is your favorite lightsaber duel from the Star Wars movies? Was it one on the list? Was it one that I missed? Go ahead and post a comment below. But that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more G-rated Star Wars content, go ahead and click that little subscription button below. I've got reactions every week. I've got Star Wars projects, Star Wars movie reviews, book reviews. You name it, if it's Star Wars, I'm probably going to talk about it, unless it has spoilers for the next episode. That I'm not going to touch on at all. But until next time, this is the Clumsy Jedi signing off. Bye, guys!